Because if the transmission can't breathe, that ain't good either. You build pressure in the crankcase, and that's never good. So you're gonna put our vent tube here. We're gonna install him, and he goes right here, like so. 2 10mm bolts. I'm gonna go ahead and put him on. Got 2 10mm bolts for him over here somewhere. 1, there's 2. And always remember the bolts for your vent. That's what they look like, just like that. They're coarse, very coarse thread. They're not fine thread like the other bolts. See, these are fine thread. Those are fine thread. See that? And then these are coarse thread. So always want the coarse thread bolts are always going to be the ones for the transmission vent tube. So I'm going to install them real quick. Put them on. Alright, set y'all back over here for a minute. You don't want a whole lot of power on these. I got this gun set real low. You don't have to have these to where you're not like you're tightening down a car tire or nothing. So yeah, don't ram them. This one's going down kind of harsh. I don't know why. Weird. Who knows? There we go. And there we go. There we go. So those are down. I always like to take a ratchet too and just check them. Make sure they are snug. Yep, they are snug. Okay. Alrighty then. So, got that going on. Alright. Alright, so, got that going on. Oh, he just slipped out. There we go. Yeah, got that going on. Alright. So, alright. So, so there we have it there. You have your gear sets in, differentials in, 5th gear shaft and gears in. All your shafts are in place. Everything's back in place. So got your trans vent right there. Got that installed. So next to go, we're going to probably go ahead and take and put some RTV around the edges of this transmission case, so it'll seal. And if you guys are wondering what you use, oh, let me cut these bright lights off. This is what I use. See what it says? Gear oil gasket maker. So this is especially for gear oil. This is what you want to use. The part number is right there, 81182, and this is for Permatex. You can get it at Advance, AutoZone. I believe Napa carries it. O'Reilly's may have it. Stuff like that. Any local parts store will have this. So yeah, this is what you want to use right here because it's allergic. Good God, it's gear oil resistant. So it works well with gear oil seals. So, alright, let me go ahead and get ready to put, oh, one more thing. So you have this bolt right here. So this bolt right here goes right there. So it goes through the case and it'll actually sit right here. So it keeps this from going up and down and stuff like that. So it just sits right there in that hole. just like that, but it goes actually through the case right there. It's going to go through the case right there, and so that's where that goes, and that way that bolt will hold this shaft from going up and down and all that good stuff. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put some RTV sealer around the transmission case. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use the stuff that I already had. I'm just going to use the rest of that up. Alright. Come on, guys, let me wipe this off a little bit. I've been putting gears, oily gears back on here. Yep. All right. Okay. Oh. Clean up oil dripping everywhere. All right. So. And I like to go. When I do this, I like to go around. I like to go around all the bolt holes, dowel pin holes, stuff like that. To make sure I'm getting everything sealed up good. You guys be able to see what I'm talking about. Once I'm finished here. Alright. There. And you don't have to, it doesn't have to be a heavy coat. You don't have to put this on very, very heavy at all. I mean, these are two pretty flat and true surfaces. So a little bit, anything between them is going to, of course, you're going to be able to mash them together. So you don't want to put too much down, because if you do, you'll have a mess. And we don't want a mess. A mess is never good. A mess is never, ever good. So I'm going to have to take and go around here with my finger, because I ain't going to be able to get around there with the Permatex tube, because of the simple fact that gear's in the way. Okay. Alright. I think we got everything here covered. Alright. I think we got just about everything covered. Yeah. There we go. Yep. Alright. I can't believe that little bit of Permatex actually did the job. I bought a new tube just in case, because I was like, man, I'm kind of low on Permatex. I didn't know if that Permatex would work, but it's all right. So, and now getting ready to install this rear case here. So let me make sure I have. The one thing you want to do, let me see. I'm gonna take that bolt out too, so I can install that ball and spring. The one thing you want to do, man, this is what I always try to do. Try to get close as you can as far as like your 5th gear shaft. So what I do is come down and get close as I can with my case here. And I try to see where this 5th gear shaft is sitting at. You know, if it's close, you know, if it's off, you know. So try to always get it as close as I can. So, and I think I'll have it. I think it'll be pretty close there. So, so yeah. Also, so there is this mystery ball and spring right here, right? See that? That ball rests right here on this reverse gear mechanism. It rests right there, right here. Matter of fact, I'll demonstrate where it sits. It sits right there, just like that. Sorry about the light, I'm trying to position it right, but yeah, it sits just like that, right there. And of course, this spring sits on top of the ball, and then this bolt, you put tension on the spring and the ball. So I got to take that out. Forgot to take that out when I pulled it apart. Whoopsie! But hey, at least I caught it, right? So let me get something to put on that real quick. Knock that, pull that out real fast. That's a 14 millimeter, I think it is. Oh. Oh, yep, 14 mil. Bust him loose. There we go. Alright. Pull him right out of there. And he is nothing special. This old short stubby bolt that holds the spring in and ball in place. That's it. Set him right there. Alright. So, we have now the bolt that goes into the 5th gear shaft looks like that. Looks like this. Got the little point on the end, like a little guide, of course. It's a 12 millimeter. No, that might be a 14. Can't remember. And then this bolt here is the one I was telling you guys that goes in between in between that piece that's on the actual gear shaft. Let me move this out of the way so I can show y'all again. Yeah. Goes right here in between those two gear pieces. I'll show you one more time so give you a close-up just to see what we got going on here. So right here is where that bolt goes, and notice it's got a bare shaft. That bare shaft goes right in here like so, just like that. And then of course this bolt, you'll take it off right here on the case like I just showed you, and that holds the ball and spring down on the 5th gear shift mechanism there. So that way, I'll give you guys a quick once over of that so you have a good understanding. Alright, now I'm going to put you guys back over here so I can start putting the case on here. Alright, got that pretty much lined up. So, alright, we're going for the gusto. Here we go. And the case goes down. And, oop, here we go. These boys down. 5th gear is close. Trouble going down here. Tap it. Might be hung up on a. Yeah, it's probably hung up on one of these dowel pins. Yeah, we're really close to being where we need to be. So let me get a mallet. Just tap lightly, don't like try to kill it going down. That won't go down. Where's the dilly? Right down on that side. This thing giving me all kinds of problems tonight, y'all. Don't want to cooperate. So let me see if I got something a little weird here. shouldn't. I think I got everything down like I needed. Yeah, everything's right. Oh, everything's right. Just having problems going down. There it is. There we go. She down. And guess what? It spins. It spins, y'all. All right. Put our 5th gear bolt in here. Yeah, I think it's ready to. Like that bad boy. And then here we go with the ball and spring. And the ball will drop down. The spring will go behind it. And then the bolt will go behind that. And then that's that. And then we're going to try and get this bolt here lined up, which I believe, here we go. Alright, so you guys get the concept of this. I'm going to put 12 millimeters in this one. Got that bad boy to screw up in there. This one lines up, so that's a good thing. So if these bolts go in, that means you got everything lined up, which is that's always a good thing. It always sucks when you can't get these bolts to line up right. That ain't no good at all. And there is no fun. Okay, so we got that bolt in the case. We got this bolt in the case. That's for reverse. And then we got that bolt in the case. That's for that ball and spring, and that's for your reverse switch, your reverse lights right there, which that's laying over there. So we haven't put him in yet, so that's the last resort. But just want to show y'all, if that bolt goes all the way in, you're good. If that bolt goes all the way in, you're good. So good to go, good to go. Now we're going to work on assembling the top, putting 5th gear up here, and then let me show you guys how that goes. So I'm going to set you down again. Set you down again so you guys can watch. Alright. And of course, your case bolts, they'll go in here. We all know that. Yeah. You have this little doohickey here. That goes there. Okay. Yeah, it's like a little harness hanger for that. Let me see if I can get it for y'all. I'll show you. This is for your 5th gears, your reverse gear switch. See, and it's just basically like a little harness hanger for it, and it goes right there. Let me show y'all exactly where it goes. Actually, hold on, I'm telling you wrong. It doesn't go there. It goes, I believe that sucker goes right, I believe it goes right here. That's where that 5th gear hanger goes, 5th gear hanger. Reverse light switch for the harness. The harness for the 5th gears. The harness for the reversed lights goes here, not 5th gear harness. The reverse lights harness switch, this is a hanger for that, so that goes here. I believe that goes right there. It's either here or here. It's one of those. So I can't always remember where the heck that thing goes. So yeah, and then of course you put all your case bolts in and stuff and tighten up your case bolts and all that. So I guess we can go ahead and put some case bolts in there real quick. Get some case bolts up in there. Those are for the motor mount. Case bolts in. Run everything down. Hope you guys are learning something here. Try to be as detailed and if I possibly can with stuff like this. Alright, we kind of snug them up. We ain't going to tighten them right yet. And last but not least, got this up here. So we're going to clean. I'm going to take and wipe this off real quick after that. Clean it up in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to install 5th gear. And so what I like to do is, whoa, almost dropped it. I like to keep everything together. Like when I knock that pin out, and there's another one of those roll pins I got to install. But when I knock that pin out, I like to pull all this up together. That way everything just stays together. So, you know, you pretty much here, there's your solenoid there. Solenoid. I'm thinking about automatic transmissions already. There's your synchronizer for there. When you flip it over, and then there is another synchro right there, as you can see. There's another synchronizer. So I like to keep all this together, and that way, you know, it just goes down in one piece. So and always look, always make sure you have this collar on there. That collar fits up in that gear there. The collar fits up in there, so make sure your collar is always on your input shaft at the end. So we're going to put the U up on here. Actually, how did I do this? Did I put the other gear on first? Yeah, I think I put the other gear on first. Let me see. I think I put this bad boy up here first. Yep. And then this. Okay. So real quick again, before I go any further, when you set this gear down, make sure you set that gear down with this section facing the case. If you set it down like this, it's going to be rubbing against the case, and you don't want that. You definitely don't want that. So you want the gear to sit just like this, with this facing the case. So this will be facing down. So like I said, you don't want to flip it this way because you're going to have problems if you do. So always make sure that this section here is pointed down inside the case, facing that bearing that's inside there. And I'll show you what I'm talking about with the bearing. So hold on, let me clean my hands up. Alright, so you want, like I said, you want this portion of the gear to be facing the case. And there's a bearing that sits right here, right? So you want to make sure, see how close it already is to the case like that. So if you turn around and flip it, guess what? It sits on the case. There's no space there. So it may operate, but it ain't going to operate long. So just make sure you put it with that with this section of the gear down. Make sure you put it with that taper. This taper here, make sure that taper is down, facing on the gear. Alright, so I'm going to install the rest of it. Alright, thank you for bearing with me, y'all, with this great YouTube video technology I have here. I do the best I can with what I got, man. Best I can with what I got. So, get you guys to go down on here some type of way here in a minute. Alright. Alright. Just that one shaft. problems. Everything's giving me issues today. Why is that? What's going on here? That's half of it. There we go. Alright. There we go. Alright, we're down. Now I have to put, yeah, there we go, all the way. Now, push that out the way. So I gotta put this, I gotta put that roll pin in. So, there's another hole for a roll pin, so I gotta install that roll pin real quick. So let me put that in. Just make sure you guys, make sure you're putting your roll pins and stuff in. You know, don't forget those, because if you forget them, oh my gosh, everybody gonna be in trouble. Everybody gonna be in trouble if you don't install the right roll pin. Get this up right. Hold on. There we go. All right. Just go ahead and tighten it down. Perfect. Roll pin is in. Awesome. Alright, so we got the roll pin installed. Got that bad boy installed, the gear. So, alright, so I'm going to put this gear on top of here. Yeah, we got to get this just right. There you go. And make sure those two gears mesh up correctly. Always make sure these are lined up right. If one is higher than the other or lower than the other, what have you, you don't have something right. So make sure you got that right before you go any further, because the last thing you want to do is install these gears incorrectly, and then you have problems down the road. Your transmission making noise. Now fifth gear won't go in. It's acting weird. You go to push, go to put it in fifth gear, let the clutch go. And next thing you know, you ain't got nothing. So you don't want to do that. So always make sure that your gears are right. Alright, so looks like only thing we have left now is put the nuts up here and tighten everything down. Let me see, where are those two nuts? Two nuts are right here. Oh yeah, so yeah, so yep. Oh guys, guess what? I skipped a step. I sure did. So you gotta put, this is your this is that little tray I was telling y'all about for the fluid to come to fifth gear. So we can just pop the case back up real quick and install this. It's no big deal. Nothing's all the way tight. So that's why I kind of didn't do everything all the way tight yet, because I wanted to make sure that we got everything right. But yeah, I left that out. I had a feeling I was going to do that too, because of where I had it sitting at. But that basically goes in there, and I'm going to show you guys how that goes in the case. But this is basically it, man. That's how you install the trans. That's how you put the G-series back together. Even though I forgot that part. I knew I was going to forget that part. Things were going too smooth. So I'm going to pop this case back off real quick and install that real fast. So give me a sec. Now I gotta take that freaking roll pin back out. Dag nabbit. It's all good though. All good. This is how you learn, man. Sometimes you can be too fast for your own good. Alright, that's out. Okay. Yeah. That bad boy's out. Take him out. Pull all this off again. Great. There we go. Pull this off in one shot. Leave him on there. Whoopsie, guys. Not a major ordeal, but major enough. Major enough that we gotta kind of sort of pull things back loose, but could have been worse, man. Could have been worse. It's all right. Got the Permatex on there, but at least I didn't tighten everything down. Just kind of want to that's why I kind of wanted to leave things kind of loose, just in case, and something told me to do that, and I'm glad I did. So now I can show y'all how to put this in too. Sorry, y'all. It happens, man. Like I said, professionals make mistakes too. Yep, us professionals, we make mistakes. We are not perfect. We are not perfect by no means. Alright. Okay. Not perfect by no means. Grab me a magnet so I can get this ball in the spring. And also, when you want to get this ball in the spring out, man, get you a nice magnet. A small one, nice little small magnet. Go right